Well, around the world, the surfing world, he is known as White Lightning. But 26-year-old Mick can now add world champion to his name.
How good is that? The boy from Penrith in Western Sydney has brought back the crown to Australian shores, and his story is one of triumph over setbacks. Mick joins us. Congratulations.
John.
Thanks so much.
Boy from the West. Did you ever imagine this?
No, not at all, you know. It's one of those things that when I started surfing, it was just one of the dreams, but yeah, it's just been amazing.
Because you started at 5, didn't you? But it wasn't until you were 12 that your family actually moved to the coast so you could surf a little more regularly.
Yeah. We went from Penrith to Coffs Harbour and then back to Campbelltown. And then when I was about 8 or 9, we moved to Ballina. Surfed a little bit, but it wasn't until, I moved to the Gold Coast around 12 when I started really surfing.
It hasn't been an easy road, has it? Because you and your brother were both great surfers. You lost your brother in a car accident 9 years ago.
Yeah. It's been it's just life, you know. There's ups and downs, but you just got to roll with the punches. And yeah, it was hard losing my brother, but you know, people lose people, and you just got to keep trudging on.
Yeah.
And he's with you, isn't he? He's out. You reckon?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I can feel this presence that it doesn't feel right, but yeah, it's a pretty good feeling at times.
Hang on. You feel more than a presence, don't you? Because isn't there one championship each year, or one round each year, that's in memory of your brother, and a dolphin appears every year?
Yeah, we have a memorial contest on the coast, and yeah, every year there's dolphins and whales just everywhere, and yeah, it's pretty amazing.
You reckon it's him?
Could be someone else. I don't know, but yeah, it's always pretty amazing.
Now tell us about the World Championship, and I don't know, is there a moment when you know or is it just a gradual thing? Having never surfed in my life, I have no idea. But is there, when you go, yeah, this is mine, I'm on fire?
For me, it wasn't until it actually happened. When you're going against people like Kelly Slater, who's 8 times world champion, Andy Irons, 3 times world champion, you just never know when it's actually going to happen. So I just kept going until it was actually done, and that was the time when I was like, yeah.
And you're just doing what you love.
Yeah. Yeah,
Announced his retirement as well. What sort of influence has he had on your career?
I think Ox just, he's been an idol for every Australian surfer and pretty much everyone around the world. And, for him to be the last world champion before me and then to bring it back the year he retired, I'm pretty honoured to be part of that with him. So.
And you personally, what's up? You've got a big year, obviously now, World Championship, 2008 coming along. You've got a wedding to plan, and your gorgeous fiancée Carissa's in here with you this morning.
Yeah. It's going to be, fly off to Hawaii for the Vans Triple Crown, and then come home, go on a holiday, and then pretty much back into training and getting the wedding sorted.
Oh, get the wedding sorted, Carissa. That is a really good sign that he's starting to think about the wedding. When is it?
It is. It's March 15th next year, but we've got most of the planning done already. We had to get that done in the break before Africa, so...
Right. What sort of bloke is he?
He's a good bloke, yeah. Very down to earth and lots of fun.
Do you have to keep him in line?
He keeps me in line sometimes.
Yeah. Barrett's has got to come in. Barrett's is just beside himself with excitement.
He's been following the World Championship in the last 3 rounds.
Thanks so
awesome,
much.
mate.
Cheers.
Just awesome today.
And great to see an Australian champion again.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the first one since '99, so it's just awesome, mate.
I
Well
like
done.
the silverware.
Yeah, it's
Pretty impressive.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, Mark has just taken up surfing, so he's come late to the sport. You've inspired him, but you've inspired him even more and brought this surfboard in. signed by you to the Sunrise Gang, which is all about Mark, because he's been following you virtually every sports report.
Yeah, I thought, thanks for all the support. It's my friends have been telling me that they've been talking about it a lot. So.
We got on board pretty early. We got word, we knew what you were in the championship, and we were able to follow it through. And all our viewers as well, the Sunrise family, were backing you, just waiting for you to clinch that championship. So, mate, and that is going to the Sunrise family pool room. That's sensational.
And good on you, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you for joining
Thanks,
us, and all the best for Big Wedding.
Thank you.
Back to back now, Mick, too.
No doubt.
This party,
It is 7:55 on the way. Why women are more likely to make an email mistake, and a guy with a permanent reminder of a bad choice in life.
Aussie teenager has been crowned the King of Margaret River. In clean 2-metre conditions, 19-year-old Mick Fanning won the title, beating 3 world-ranked opponents.
It was a case of our Aussie boys versus Brazil. When it came down to the last 16, 8 were from Australia and 5 from the country famous for its soccer stars. Local Jake Patterson was an early casualty, crashing out during the quarter-finals to Gold Coaster Mick. World number 2, Luke Egan, as the Aussies took on the Brazilian brothers Flavio and Nico Paderats. Fanning leaving his charge until the last minute. This ride securing the Masters crown by just 0.2 of a point. Egan finished 4th.
Mick Fanning, first place, world champion.
Mick Fanning has scored a narrow victory in the final of the Margaret River Masters. The 19-year-old from Tweed Heads scored 19.27 to win from Brazilian Paderats, who scored 19.02. Paderats finished just in front of his older brother, Flavio. Fanning's win came after he finished 2nd in the Quicksilver Pro on the Gold Coast last month.
So happy, I'm just went into the event just trying to get through a couple of heats and just ended up winning, so I'm so stoked.
Queenslander Luke Egan was the only other Australian in the final. He finished 4th.
Danny Wills in the All-Australian finals.
Take a pretty swell performance to stop Andy Irons retaining his world surfing title. The Hawaiian was nearly flawless at the Quicksilver Pro in Fiji and saved his brilliant best for the final.
Whatever conditions Cloudbreak served up for the final, the Irons was likely to be hot, and so it proved. World champion Andy Irons seeking his 2nd tour win of the year, unleashing this perfect 10 ride to sink the hopes of good friend Corey Lopez.
I've surfed against him my whole life since NSSA, way back then. It's just amazing. We talked about this when we were old. Just really stoked. Yeah, I haven't really sunk in, but I feel really good.
He's a great surfer. Any wave he gets, it's a good wave. He's going to turn into an excellent score. So, all congratulations to him. He's definitely probably the best backside surfer around.
The day couldn't have started worse for the 24-year-old, plagued by sea lice in his quarter-final and creasing his favourite board. It ended with cheers, beers and an emphatic 600-point lead in the tour standings. But Irons' 2nd world title is far from sealed.
We got so many events left, though. We got I think 11 or 10 events still to go, so I'm not counting any stars yet, or any chickens before they hatch kind of thing, so we go into Japan psyched and just kind of go for it,
The Aussie assault failed to materialise on the final day. Defending champ Mick Lowe wiped out in the semis. Kieran Perro also reaching the last 4 before falling victim to Irons. The Gold Coast's Mick Fanning leaping to number 2 on the ratings with his quarter-final appearance. Sydney-sider Chris Davidson crushed by the 2-metre barrels, but a quarter-final showing represents his coming of age on the World Tour.